Are strategies to maximize your student loan forgiveness unethical and dishonest, like this commenter says? Honestly, no. You are an American. Your number one fiduciary responsibility to yourself as an American is to pay the federal government as little as legally required by law. I'm not talking about breaking the law here. I'm not talking about fraud, lying, any of that stuff. Legally required and allowed by law. It's what our country was founded on. We threw tea into the, Boston Bay because we didn't want to be taxed by England. It is literally a fundamental principle as an American to pay as little to the government as legally required by law. And we do this every day. We've had things like PPP loans. We have a full tax system that is based on deductions and doing actions to lower your tax burden. That is literally what the system is built on. And highlighting these things so that people can pay less in taxes, pay less on their student loans, maximize their loan forgiveness are all fully legal, and there is nothing dishonest or unethical about it. And I have this whole document behind me because this has come up in the courts before, and one of our awesome viewers called it out, and I read this like 6 years ago, but in the state of Ohio, a lawyer tried to go and get their bar exam, and they were denied because they had $900,000 in student loan debt, and the bar exam board said, "You are not financially responsible, so you can't be a lawyer." Well, this went all the way to the Supreme Court, and she said, "I am on the ICR plan. I am making $0 a month legal payments on my student loans, and I should be allowed to take the bar exam. I'm being completely financially responsible. I am following the letter of the law." And this is what the Ohio Supreme Court said. It appears that she is currently meeting all of her financial obligations and that she has taken full advantage of the opportunities that the federal student loan program has made available to further her education goals. These are legal programs. They're allowed by law. There's no loopholes. This is plain text. Congress passed it. It's in the Library of Congress. This isn't a hidey hole kind of thing. This is very straightforward. And like Warren Buffett says, you might disagree with the law, but you are supposed to follow the law. And that's all we're doing here. So part two of this is if you're frustrated with the law, that's fair. Take it up with your congressperson. Take it up with the president. Take it up with your legislators. But you should be rooting for your neighbors. You should be rooting for your fellow Americans to follow the law and pay as little as legally required on their loans and get that loan forgiveness. I would be just shocked if you knew someone in this situation whose parent dies and they get their loans forgiven. Are you going to walk up to them at a funeral and be like, that sucks. I hope you're going to repay those loans? No, you're not. So look at your neighbor. Realize that these are people. Realize that these are humans and they're following the law and they're not doing anything dishonest or unethical. They are following the rules. Now, again, you don't agree with the rules? That's fair. There's a lot of things I don't agree with the federal government and our tax system and who knows, right? Go down the laundry list. But if your neighbor's following the law, if you know someone that's following the rules, you should be rooting for them to get all the loan forgiveness they deserve.